It's Ratt right here on your Classic Metal Show with You Think You're Tough. I think Blotzer thinks he's tough.
Yeah, pal. Bobby Blotzer is tough.
Yeah. Well, apparently there is problems in the new Ratt camp.
Rat traps are clicking off.
The rat traps are clicking off, and as we all know, and as we all believe, and as we all support, Rat Lives Matter.
Right.
Apparently the Ratt camp is, they're suffering some infestation.
They definitely are.
They're suffering the infestation of greed, jealousy,
Right.
and just downright assholism. Stupidity. But who didn't see this coming?
Well, I guess I know we did.
We did. We knew this wasn't going to last.
Yep.
It barely lasted a year.
Really? It's only lasted a few months. He only started doing gigs in, December?
Well, he brought this together and actually did his first shows in February of last year.
Oh, really? It's been that long, huh?
Under the Bobby Blotzer Ratt experience.
How long has it been actually Ratt?
I think he announced that in July.
Okay.
So July, under the Ratt banner, but the actual genesis of this lineup,
right,
that they call Ratt, or that Bobby's calling Ratt, actually convened last February for the first time.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that long.
So it's been a year. Several sources close to the new Ratt lineup have recently revealed to Metal Sludge that not all is hunky-dory on the inside.
Damn it.
Last week, the band's official co-manager, Jason Green, was let go.
Oops.
He's the co-manager.
Who's the real manager?
I don't know. I don't know who the other co-manager would be.
I think it's Bobby.
Yeah, probably. It's Bobby and this guy.
Right.
After roughly a year helping formulate the project from the ground up, Green was sent packing.
Yeah, pal, get out of here.
And it seemed to stir the pot for sure.
Okay.
Green is also the manager of the Las Vegas-based cover band Sin City Sinners.
All right.
Say that 3 times quick.
No.
Sin City Sinners.
That's one.
It seems that at least half of Blotzer's new Ratt could be on the way out.
After 10 gigs.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Whether it's 1, 2, or maybe even 3 members, only time will tell.
Okay.
If you want to count Green, it could be as many as 4 parts gone or changed.
Wow.
It's a bit of the cluster how all of these parts work, and we'll do our best to explain. But before we go forward, let's go backward and try and understand how all this started in the first place.
Okay.
So this will answer your question about the genesis and the longevity of this current lineup.
Okay, excellent.
Last summer, drummer Bobby Blotzer was invited by Green to be a special guest on one of the Sin City Sinners show. The group has done this with countless 80s rock stars in recent years, including Sebastian Bach, George Lynch, and Tracy Guns. We're going to go out on a limb and guess that Bach never thought, hey, this could be my new Skid Row band. And we'll assume George Lynch did not think that this was his next Dokken either.
Right.
Anyway, so Blotzer agreed to appear and did so at Vamped on Friday, March 6, 2015. So we're not even a year yet.
Right.
Coming up on a year. According to this review, the show was great, but we also assumed that around that time, Blotzer felt the band was so good doing the Ratt tunes that he decided to take it a step further. Soon after, Bobby Blotzer's Ratt experience was born. The group played their debut Las Vegas at the same club on June 27th. So basically June was their first show under the Bobby Blotzer's Ratt experience.
Okay, wow.
So it hasn't even been a year yet.
No, not even close.
9 months, 8 months.
As the experience, but this lineup is what I'm trying to say. No matter what name they chose to use. Right. But the ultimate scam is when they started calling it Ratt.
Correct.
Okay.
The show went so well, Blotzer and his new project swiftly booked follow-up dates in Phoenix, Tucson, and Hollywood. All right, on the most infamous day in American history, on September 11th, the message we screen captured was posted on the official Ratt's Facebook.
Right.
Last Ratt Experience show at the Whiskey tomorrow. Hello, new future. Much love, Bobby Blotzer.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, disaster on a disastrous day.
That's right.
It seemed that the tribute project was short-lived, and now Blotzer and his Ratt Experience was over. Or was it? That's when that foreshadowing music should come in.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do.
Dun, 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 dun.
When the band took the stage at the Whiskey the very next night on September 12th, they had the official Ratt banners in tow. Following the Sunset Strip appearance, just 3 months after launching the side project, Blotzer announced that this band was now officially Ratt. Along with the news, they released an official promo featuring the new lineup and the trademark Ratt logo. And the poster also warned of the Re-Invasion Tour 2016.
Ooh, that is a warning.
Yeah. Our good friend Jay Lee Anthony from Australia.
Yeah.
He had made a few memes.
That's right.
He referred to them as the uncles.
The uncles.
Remember that?
Yep.
The uncles. However, not everyone was as excited as Blotzer was when the news hit the internet. The popular website Metal Sucks ran a piece called Bobby Blotzer to crap all over Ratt's legacy. And that's kind of how a lot of us felt the same way.
Yeah, I would say so.
An excerpt from Metal Sucks reads, now drummer Bobby Blotzer has decided to assemble a band of all dudes and take them out on the road under the Ratt moniker. The same group did some shows earlier this year under the name Bobby Blotzer's Ratt Experience. The lineup is Josh Allen, Scotty Griffin, Doc Ellis. I thought he was a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates at one point.
Yeah, that did what? H during games or something?
Yeah, he was on acid.
Yeah.
Pitch a no-hitter on acid.
Right.
Let's see here. And 22-year-old guitar hero Blaze. Who?
Who?
Yeah, exactly. Not Ratt. That's who. Blotzer seemed to be moving forward quickly, but shortly after that, the latest announcement was made by Warren DeMartini that he was taking legal action.
Yeah, pal.
On October 1st, 2015, we reported in our Lawyer It Down, Lay It Down, Lawyer It Down, article that Warren DeMartini had filed a lawsuit against Blotzer. The Metal Sludge article included the following from DeMartini's lawsuits. In essence, Bobby Blotzer wants to hijack the name and tour under the name Ratt. Defendant Bobby Blotzer intends to fool the Ratt fans by touring with himself, a drummer, and a group of imposters calling themselves Ratt. And that's true.
It is true, but legally it's not true.
Right. Bobby spoke out about DeMartini and their legal court proceedings in early December, saying, if I was him, I'd be ready to slice my throat.
Yeah, pal.
So he realizes what a douche he's being, but he's just like, fuck you.
He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm making money.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm taking this Ratt out on the road, and I'm going to make some bucks.
And you can't stop me.
That's it. It seemed that DeMartini's legal action stalled on 2 occasions, and the courts have allowed Blotzer to plow forward for now with his all-new lineup of rodents as the official Ratt. Ratt currently features original member Bobby Blotzer on drums, along with Joshua Allen on vocals, Scotty Griffin on bass, Doc Ellis on guitar, and Blaze on guitar.
It's who I always think of as Ratt.
Me too. Very identifiable guys.
Yeah.
In recent months, the group has performed in Iowa, Ohio, Florida, Indiana, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And even after what appears to be some legal victories and successful shows, we're hearing not all is well behind the closed doors.
Big shock there.
Some rat traps are clicking off.
That's right.
One insider claims the truth is there's a lot of turmoil within the new Ratt camp. Blotzer at times acts like a tyrant.
What?
And the others are getting fed up.
What?
Now, mind you, we've had Bobby on the show probably 4, maybe 5 times over the years.
Right.
I've dealt with Blotzer face to face on probably 4 or 5 occasions personally.
Sure.
He's always been okay with me. I've never really had an issue with the guy.
Sure.
But most people that I know that know him on more of a personal level, not one person has a good thing to say about the guy.
Okay. Yeah, I will share that I spoke with somebody this week that has something good to say about it.
All right. Well, again, I'm just telling you from my personal interaction that I've never had an issue with Bobby. He's always been fair and nice to me, but I know a lot of people within the industry who don't have a whole lot of nice things to say. That's all I'm going to say.
And let's not forget, we're needed to fucking put best light on shit, I guess.
Sure, absolutely.
So they're always nice to us, but, until we do shit like this, I don't think he'd be nice to us now.
Sure, absolutely. Hail and kill, caller, you're on the air.
Is Warren DeMartini a drug addict?
Not that I'm aware of.
Because why would you not turn up to court?
Well, here's the thing. Warren he has an inheritance from the Mars Candy Bar Company. He's like 15th in line or something for the inheritance. So he doesn't need to work. Allowing Bobby to use the Ratt name is really no skin off his back per se. So he doesn't have a whole lot to fight for because he gets a monthly stipend. I was told, I don't know this is fact, but I was told it's around $10,000 a month. So Warren is not hurting for money. So for him to take the time out and go to court and go through all the meandering that goes on with that, probably not worth his time. And maybe he thought just the injunctions that he filed was going to do the trick. I don't know all the ins and outs, but those are the things that I do know about.
But I hear what you're saying, but I don't understand it. I mean, you've worked all your life. You've worked all your life. You've built this brand. You've been one of the 5 people that have built this brand.
Are you talking into a pillow, Tim? Are you biting a pillow while you're talking to me?
I'm being railed in the ass.
Jeez.
No, hang on. Is that better?
That is much better.
All right. But, you've worked all your life. You've got this brand. You've had multi-platinum success around the world, and you don't give a shit. I mean, I just don't get it.
Well, what value is it, though, Tim? I mean, it's not going to affect the royalties that they receive from their music catalog. I mean, and they're not playing any shows live, as the original lineup. So what value does that have?
I don't know. If it was me, I just want to own it. That was
all. Sure, but DeMartini does not own it. He does own it, and I'm sure that Bobby has to pay him a certain amount of money a month to use it. But the thing is if you're concerned about the legacy of it and whether it's dragging it through the mud and this and that, I understand that. But at this point, since they're not an active touring act, outside of what Blotzer's doing with it, of what value is the Ratt name?
So I'll go in a sec. But is Blotzer is it 50-50 with Blotzer and
DeMartini? Yes.
Anyway, oh well, to be that wealthy to have that choice. Hail and kill.
Jeez, oh man, Tim. Thanks for adding nothing to the conversation at all.
Here's a guy who relies on us for all that information. He is so steeped in what are these band guys doing, and you guys know, and you have the inside track, and I live vicariously through what those guys are doing.
Well, Tim is the quintessential fan. He thinks like a fan. And in the fan world, this is fucking ruining the Ratt legacy.
Yeah, and it is, and I agree, and I'm a big Ratt fan. I love Ratt.
Mm-hmm. But in the real world.
But in the real world, does the Ratt name really have any value aside from the, what's the word? Not
nostalgia.
Well, I'm looking at nostalgia, but what's the other word I'm looking for? Sentimental.
Oh, yeah.
Sentimental value.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the sentimental value of saying, man, look what they're doing to my band.
Yeah.
It really has no value, does it?
No, not really. I mean, it's not like the Rolling Stones that have crossed over to pop culture legends.
Yeah, they've cemented themselves into the worldwide lexicon.
Yeah, bands that came out in the 80s have cemented themselves as either permanent or done, to kind of put a placement on it. And I mean, Metallica, permanent. Megadeth, kind of permanent.
Slayer, permanent.
Slayer, permanent. Ratt, done. Warrior Soul, done. Slaughter, done. I mean, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Even bands we know, Dokken, done. I mean, as much as we like them, all these bands, and as much as we like some of the new material that they're all churning out, in the big picture, they're all over.
For the most part.
I mean, how many times you're a big Dokken fan and friend, okay?
True.
And when you mention Dokken to people when you're out and about, they're like, "Oh, are they still around?"
Yeah, more or less.
All the time. I
more
get
or
that
less.
Too. A lot of people ask me, they'll be like, I'll mention that I do the Dokken website. Oh, those guys were great back in the day. What are they doing now?
Yeah.
Get that all the time. So these bands are kind of over. So you're right. There's no logistical value. It's just that the fans can't just accept that, you know what, the myth of what you were liking in 1986 is done.
Yeah.
So
it's sentimental. That's all it is.
Yeah, you've got the old albums. Listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you remember most as that band it no longer exists with almost every one of those bands. There's what, Aerosmith and Cinderella that are still the original lineups?
For the most part, yeah.
I don't think there's anybody else, is there?
I mean, even Bon Jovi has lost key members.
Yeah, Richie's out. The drummer's out, right?
No, Tico Torres is still in there, but their bassist was out.
Oh, the bass player,
yeah.
John
Such.
Whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, all those bands they're not what you remember. None of them are. But they're still out there playing their greatest hits, and people go and pay for it, so that's the only value it has anymore.
I agree.
As much as I think what Bobby's doing is fucking disgusting, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's his business. It's not. These guys, fans need to get it through their head that these guys really don't give a fuck about you. And they don't. For all the bullshit that they'll tell you about, we have the greatest fans in the world and we do this for the fans. No, you don't. None of you do. You all do it because it makes you cash. It keeps you out of the cubicle, so to speak.
More or less.
That's the truth.
Well, I mean, do you remember what Phil Lewis was doing before he rejoined LA Guns back in the late 90s?
Wasn't he acting or something?
No, he was working at a tech company.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he was working in a cubicle.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was doing so. Didn't he do a movie?
Well, yeah, that was later though. That was that vampire movie or whatever.
No, you're right though. He was working as a tech.
Yeah, he was like working at some company in a cubicle.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's he rejoined LA Guns back, what was it, like 98, I think.
Yeah.
They have to tour consistently in order to make their nut.
Yeah. Well, and that's it. And he's not doing it for the love of the fans. They're just not. I mean, I'm sure they do like their fans, but if it's do or die, if it's go out on tour because we got to make money, or put out a new record because the hardcore fans want to hear a new record, guess what? They're going on tour.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah,
You're not that important.
Yeah, well, that's where the money's at.
Yeah, the money's at being out there on the road.
I mean, that is a payout every night.
Mm-hmm. And the fans have to accept that you're going to always have, and I don't want to say it like Bobby's the first, because he's not. There's a long string of these kind of bands. That is one original dude, not even an important one, and then a bunch of other fucking guys, and they call themselves whatever that band was.
Well, look at Foghat.
Foghat, Quiet Riot.
Foreigner.
Foreigner. There's an abundance of them. And doesn't make them bad. I love the Foreigner band, personally. I think did you see Foreigner back in the day?
I did.
And you've seen them since, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I've hung out with them a few times.
Right. They're better now.
Yeah, because they're more energetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're more talented.
I agree.
They didn't have to be limited by the talents of the original guys.
Sure.
I have not seen the Blotzer band, but I'm going to assume it's more talented or better sounding than the last incursion of Ratt.
Sure.
I'm not gonna say that it's not. I've heard nothing but good things, and the videos I've seen look like they were pretty good. But it's a scam that we all have to just either accept or not. I won't pay for it.
No, because under the Bobby Blotzer's Ratt experience, that was acceptable. Mm-hmm. Because that's what it was. It was a tribute to Ratt.
Right.
But to go under the actual Ratt banner, that is misleading.
Well, and I'll take it from the place that I'm complaining about here. As a fan, it's a fucking ripoff. As a fan of Ratt, to me, it's a fucking ripoff.
I agree.
I get the business entity of it, and as a business entity, fair and legitimate. But as a business entity, I don't have to buy it. I wouldn't buy a movie ticket that says fucking Star Wars on it and watch Star Trek. It's just not what I would do.
Sure.
And it's the same fucking thing. To me, this is false. I don't care who owns the legal name. As a fan, he's fucking, preying on the stupidity of most people that are not hardcore enough to realize that it's not the original guys.
Sure.
That's all.
Right. All right. Well, back to the story.
Okay.
One insider claims truth is there's a lot of turmoil within the new Ratt camp. Blotzer at times acts like a tyrant, and the others are getting fed up. It is being alleged from multiple sources that a few of the guys are on their way out.
Okay.
Blotzer has hinted at changes on the Ratt official Facebook as well, posting, "We will be sending out an update soon," when a fan inquired about changes due to the recent drama. Our source says that Blotzer has made an attempt to lock in certain members of the band. He tried to get them all to sign an exclusive contract. Only Josh fell for it.
And he's the singer, though,
He's
right?
the singer, yes.
Boy.
According to Green, he claims that the lead singer, Josh Allen, was not happy back in late January. The singer's now ex-manager has publicly posted a text message in an online forum that he alleged was exchanged between himself and Allen. Okay. According to the screen capture, Allen says, "I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. I'm not going to get paid $500 while someone is raking in $15,000. I can't believe that people are paying $15,000 for this lineup of Ratt.
Well, they're stupid. They just see the name Ratt.
Well, see, that goes back to the discussion we had when this first hit the news. Because we were discussing the cost of these,
Right.
shows, and I know as Ratt, the original lineup, I think they were commanding about 20 grand.
Right.
This Bobby Blotzer lineup, 15,000.
Well, no, it's probably getting 20 grand. Because the one guy's getting 500, the other guys are too.
Yeah, but what I'm
and
saying,
Bobby's getting 15 grand.
Yeah, but I read that as if as you know, they were getting 15,000 and he was getting 500 of that. But you know, I guess you can interpret that a couple ways.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, not to sound cocky, but the only reason this is working is because of my voice.
I agree with that.
Well, there's a lot to do with that. And what I find kind of funny yet creepy at the same time is that he does all the Stephen Piercy moves.
Well, he's trying to play the part.
I understand, but I just think that's weird that you assume somebody else's character.
Really? Tommy Thayer would tell you otherwise.
Well, what I mean is doing all the same signature moves.
Yeah, Tommy Thayer. He set that standard.
Does he shoot a rocket out of his guitar?
Fuck yes, he does the whole ace thing.
Again,
man.
I haven't seen him with Thayer, so I don't know the answer.
Dude, he is an absolute actor.
Really?
He's an actor more than a player.
Okay.
He is doing Ace freely.
All right, I haven't seen any of the video or anything. I haven't seen them with Ace or with Thayer as Ace.
You can call him Ace.
Yeah,
That's what they want you to do. Just call him Ace.
sure.
Ace Thayer.
But I just think it's really weird that he does Steven's moves.
I do too. But
It's just odd.
trying to play the role, man.
I know. But when he raises his arm up in the air and is jumping up and down and stuff like Steven does,
Right.
that's just kind of bizarre. Because that's a Steven move, you know?
It is.
It's just weird. The singer goes on to add, "I'm being taken advantage of, and I'm not okay with it."
Yeah, pal.
Yeah, so he's like, Blotzer's raking in the cash, and the only reason he's raking in the dough is because of me.
Yeah, but now I'm stuck in this dumb contract. And
Right.
I can't get out of it.
Sure. Green is now an ex-Ratt employee, according to Blotzer, but seems to have wore several hats. It is very unclear, but Green claims he was Ratt's co-manager, along with taking on duties as their tour manager. Green has stated that he also acted as a publicist of sorts, overseeing all the press releases, fixing Blotzer's grammar, says Green. There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
And was the main reason putting Blotzer with Sin City Sinners from the onset.
Okay.
Oddly, in more text the former employee shared with the public forum, it looks like Blotzer was asking Green to perform some odd duties.
Okay.
One in particular was asking him to pose as a potential buyer to former Ratt bandmate Juan Crucier's agency.
Do you believe that?
I do.
I believe that.
I do too. According to the former Ratt employee, who some are calling disgruntled, is not the only one who has voiced that there are troubles within.
Wow.
Another insider will call mouse tits.
Mouse tits.
Mouse tits.
Do you think Debbie Daly likes mouse tits?
I don't think so.
No.
Informed Metal Sludge that Scotty Griffin was definitely on his way out.
Okay.
And his replacement will be former Ratt bassist Robbie Crane.
Wow.
Well, Robbie play with everybody.
Yeah.
And anybody.
Well, he's coming back. He's coming home.
Is he?
Apparently.
Yeah. Coincidentally, Green, also known as SC Sinner, has said something similar in a forum in the following, and I can't read it, so teeny.
Right.
A third source will call salsa balls. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Has informed Metal Sludge the following: the Robin Crosby guy is getting axed as well. The Robin Crosby guy.
Robin Crosby. They don't even know their names.
Yeah. The Salsa Balls source has told Metal Sludge that the Crosby position is Doc Ellis, former Pittsburgh Pirate great pitcher.
Right.
And that Blotzer is trying to recruit current Tough guitarist Billy Morris to fill the spot.
Wow.
So is that Billy's current position? He's the Tough guitarist now?
He is the Tough guitarist now.
Because I know he played with them, but I didn't know that this is now an official.
Yeah, he's well, and he's also in business with Todd from Tough.
Okay.
You know, with Smoke Rock and Roll.
Okay.
So, it's keep it in the family type of a deal.
I gotcha. Morris is a former member of Warrant who had toured with Ratt in early 2000s. Ironically, Billy Morris' Sunset Strip band just supported Ratt on the December 26th Hard Rock Casino show in Northfield, Ohio. The night you and I were getting hammered. As of the press time, it's not clear as to if Griffin and Ellis know they are on thin ice. Well, I guess if they read this, they would know that.
Yeah, I'd imagine they know now.
Yeah. It's also not clear as to whether Blotzer was aware that his lead singer was considering walking as recent as January, and he felt that he was being taken advantage of. Green's claim is that Blotzer wants to control the members and thus asked them to commit to Ratt and leave the Sin City Sinners, the band in which he manages and has for several years.
Right.
Ironically, late last week, singer Joshua Allen did just that. The Ratt vocalist posted on his Facebook page that he was officially leaving the Sin City Sinners to focus on Ratt. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that I have decided to step down as the lead singer of the Sin City Sinners.
Okay.
I have learned a lot in my time with the Sinners and have had the opportunity to share the stage with some of the greatest and the most influential musicians in the business. There are no words to express my gratitude. This has been a very hard decision for me. I love the guys in the band as they are all genuine, good guys, very talented, and I, of course, wish them all the best. But as of today, I can no longer front the Sin City Sinners. I want to thank everybody and everyone who has supported us and stood by my side from the beginning, and I hope all of you understand my position. See you on the road with Ratt."
Yeah. So apparently he's not trying to leave.
Apparently not. Unless, of
Sounds
course,
like he's staying.
Unless, of course, he's been roped in on that contract and he doesn't know how to get out of it.
Well, so he's going to just play it out,
I guess. Or Bobby said, "Okay, I'll give you $600 a week." Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Two things. If Bobby Blotzer was in Ratt, he spent all that time with Ratt, then he decides who gets paid what. And secondly, these guys are probably lucky to be there. I don't know what other kind of gigs that they do, but if they're getting $500 a night or whatever, that's pretty good. And also, did you guys hear about the Jeff Pilson? What Jeff Pilson said about a Dokken reunion? Hail and kill.
Yes, I have heard about what Jeff Pilson said about the Dokken reunion, and I still don't see that happening. But I may have an update for you in March.
I'm yet to buy my Dokken tickets.
True.
I'll just leave it there.
I just don't see it happening. All right, let's just put it that way.
But there is conversation.
Yeah, there's always conversation.
There's always conversation going
Sure.
on. I'm not believing that rumor is quite as far as Jeff put it out there to be.
Yeah, I don't either.
I have not heard that from direct conversation with Don.
And I spoke with Jeff at NAMM, and that was not the case.
Well, maybe it changed in those 3 weeks since.
Sure. All right. Let's see here. To the contrary, Griffin has posted this week about the most recent Sin City Sinners music release. So much has happened in the short time, and it seems it's only getting crazier by the day.
Yeah.
Blotzer has publicly spoken out about letting Green go in a post on the official Ratt Facebook page in February 18th. An excerpt from the post noted here, "He's sadly taken this public, and clearly and sadly is not taking it well. Oh, Green got let go of the Ratt camp.
How sad.
It's taking it hard.
Yeah.
It's not a great time for him, and he, in my opinion, and guessing, thought let's see, what did he say? It's not a great time for him, and he, in my opinion, and guess, thought the other 7 warnings just went over his head. But
not always good with a sentence, that's for sure.
Yeah, but his attack on myself and Ratt are just uncalled for and laden with lies.
Yeah, pal.
He's lying to you. Don't believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Blotzer continues with, I'm a very compassionate person, and what is being spewed from him, I just feel sad and embarrassed for him. Mm-hmm. He's going through a personal struggle, and I understand he is not in a clarity position. A clarity position.
Clarity position.
So, does that mean he's not thinking clearly?
I guess not.
So good luck, Jason, and we wish you the best.
Sure you do.
And now exactly 1 week later, on February 25th, Green posted a message to his personal Facebook stating that he received, as he detailed it, a drunk and very threatening, crazy, racist voicemail from Bobby Blotzer. Racist.
Yeah, pal.
It's always racist.
Yeah.
Green alleges that the calls came in during the early morning hours. The former Ratt employee seemed to be scared that he felt the need to post a message detailing what he claims Blotzer's voicemail said, and ended his message with, if anything happens to me, you know who did it.
Oh, boy. Really?
Yeah. Green has now shared these voicemails with Metal Sludge. We will preface this by saying his first message, Bobby Blotzer states, I'll tell you this, Jason, you can put it out, put this out, whatever you want, and you know anyone can suck a fucking dick hearing this. So Blotzer must have been drinking.
I guess so.
Blotzer's first call came in at 12:29 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Right.
Blotzer goes on to saying the following. Of course you're going to be an absolute limp dick pussy. Not a man.
Yeah.
You're definitely not a man. You're not a human. Didn't Debbie Daly just say that? You're not human?
Yeah. Maybe Bobby's a future guest.
Could be. I'm going to tell you right now, Green Bomb. Is that the racist part?
I guess so.
That this guy's name is Green and he called him Green Bomb as in Jewish.
Well, maybe he is Jewish.
He could be Jewish. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the racist part or not.
I'm assuming it is.
Okay. Watch what's coming at you, man.
Yeah, pal.
Just watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be legal.
Look both ways.
I took DeMartini to the woodshed. I'll take you to the woodshed too, pal.
I'll teach you, motherfucker.
Right. It ain't gonna be anything that I'm doing or I know of, but I can guarantee you, just like that fact that you'll put your girl in the grave, man, you're gonna put yourself in the same fucking grave.
Yeah!
Wow. The message seems to get cut off and a second phone call comes in at 12:37 a.m. And you're going to do what about it? Dude, you don't even know. You should know me, man.
Yeah, man.
That this is my dance floor.
Yeah.
In the legal sense. I'm telling you, dude. You've opened the door that you're going to be really fucking sad that you even opened, mate.
Yeah, pal.
He became Australian all of a sudden.
Sure did.
Now he's mate.
He's a mate.
Yeah. So Blotzer has spoken.
Wow.
Blotzer goes on to describe that Green did as crimes against humanity. What is he? Was he a former Nazi?
Well, or a current one, apparently.
Yeah, crimes against humanity.
Yeah, current one.
And ends the second call with the following. And there is only way to deal with somebody that does that. Guess what? It's going to be sit tight and watch. Just watch. Keep an eye out. And I mean that, not physically, but just watch what happens to you, dude. Oh, my God. I love this. I can't wait. Suck a dick. Eat a piece of shit, you pathetic, filthy swine. Fuck you.
Wow. He's a real fucking lawyering tough guy, isn't he?
He's a badass.
I'll sue you, you fuck.
Yeah. You watch out, pal.
I don't know about you, but to me, that's about the biggest fucking pussy-ass fucking threat I ever heard. Well, I'm going to fucking sue you, man. I'll show you in court.
Yeah. You just asked DeMartini how I smoked his ass in court, pal.
That is one of those all-time bitch moves there.
Yeah.
Good Lord. If you don't shut up, I'll sue you.
Yeah.
What a fucking girl.
Yeah. We can only wish that related parties somehow settle their differences in a civil manner and hope that violence will not be necessary. Also, it's unfortunate report, but for the record, Green's girlfriend of several years passed away on February 7th.
Wow. We
will keep you posted on the latest from the Ratt camp, both old and new, once we hear more. This is my dance, pal.
Yeah, pal.
You'll be sorry.
You know what? I don't even get. I'm at the point that I really kind of don't care.
Yeah. Well, what is there to care about? I mean, it's just Blotzer.
It's just Blotzer being Blotzer.
Yeah.
A fucking typical douche.
Well, remember when Steven left the band again and Blotzer was like posting every other hour on his Facebook about how horrible Steven was and what a douche he was and what a horrible person he is.
Well, Bobby doesn't sell himself as a pretty good person with most of his Facebook posting.
Not at all.
He comes off like a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
So you want to hear what I heard?
Tell me what you've heard.
So I, of course, saw this story, and I saw Billy's name all over it.
Sure.
And so I called my friend Billy.
What? Are you name dropping Eddie Trunk?
Yes, I am.
My friend Billy Morse.
Yeah, speaking of that, look at that picture I just sent you of tonight's Queensryche Dawkins show with fucking Eddie Trunk as the host. Look at how that drew. Oof.
Where was this?
Wherever they're playing tonight.
Holy shit. Wow, that's not good.
And that's really not good.
Would you call that 600 people, 300 people, 200 people?
I'd say about 300.
Yeah. Man. Wow.
That is really bad.
Was this Queensryche?
Yeah.
And Dawkins.
Queensryche and Dawkins.
Really?
Tonight, yeah, it's not Jeff Tate. It's Queensryche.
Wow.
That's a fucking pathetic show in
there.
Yeah,
that's not good.
That is like, woo. Yeah, somebody just posted that, and I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah, that wasn't after the show was over either, huh?
No, because it probably just, it doesn't look like people are filing out. It looks like they're looking at the stage.
Well, I see that the house lights are on, though, so I got to wonder when that was taken.
Yeah, but nobody's leaving. It's probably in between bands.
Yeah, it's, boy, not good.
But no, so I called Billy. Back to this.
Yes.
I called Billy up, and I asked him point blank if he was joining Ratt.
Okay.
Now, here's what he told me, and I'm going to be very clear that this is my account of what he told me. So I'm going to state that I'll stand by these words. Okay. Billy said that unlike most people, he likes Blotzer.
Okay.
And he is friendly with Bobby.
Now, what does that mean? You preface that with unlike most people.
Well, that means just that.
Well,
it means that there's a lot of talk out there from most people that have dealt with Bobby.
Sure.
We know, and perhaps Billy knows as well, or other people that Billy might know, or what have you, that have said shitty things about Bobby.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of that.
I have too. Billy said to me that his interactions with Bobby have been nothing but good.
Okay.
So he has nothing bad to say about Bobby.
And I said the same thing about my personal interactions with Bobby.
Absolutely. For Billy, he did indeed get an offer from Blotzer.
Okay.
To go and do this gig.
Okay.
And from what Billy is saying, he will do the gig if the numbers that were being thrown around are real.
Okay.
Now, the numbers that are being thrown around are different than what these guys are talking about, 500 a week or whatever.
500 a gig or a week?
Whatever. No, the numbers that I'm hearing are somehow Bobby is in communication with Jeff Pilson, and Bobby somehow believes that they're going to do it the same way Foreigner did and get Foreigner type money.
Really? I don't believe that.
And if that is indeed the truth, then it makes sense for Billy to go do the gig.
Sure. Well, yeah, of course.
$3,000 a night or $5,000 a night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If that is indeed the case, you will see Wild Bill fucking doing his best Robin Crosby.
Okay.
But until then, you aren't going to see that.
Blotzer is never going to get Foreigner money.
Well, I'm just telling you what
I understand. I'm not doubting what you're telling me. I'm just saying that's ridiculous to even think that.
Well, maybe it could happen. I don't know.
I don't think so. Even at the original lineup of Ratt was not getting Foreigner money.
Yeah, I agree. I'll put it this way. If you see Billy Morris in a Ratt uniform, assume that they're getting fucking Foreigner money.
A Ratt uniform.
assume that you're going to be paying about $80 a ticket.
Sure, I don't see that happening.
I don't either. I see them continuing to play the Agora Ballroom.
Yeah.
Or the casino.
That's not happening.
You know.
That's even if Bobby can keep a lineup together.
Yeah. So that's where that is.
All right. Well, fine. Fair enough.
But Billy wanted he said to me over and over, if you talk about this, you better say that I fucking said I like Bobby because I do.
Oh, that's fine.
We're not trying to make anybody hate Bobby. I don't even hate Bobby. I don't even know Bobby. I mean, I've met him. I shook his hand. Talked to him on the phone.
Sure.
Him off.
Right.
But
this sounds like Metal Sludge questions.
Yeah. But I've interviewed Bobby, too. I interviewed him with that project he did with Janie Lane.
Yeah.
At Saints of the Underground.
Yeah, Saints, yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice enough to me then.
Yeah, that's when he picked that ELP tune.
Right, and we just didn't play it.
Right, we played like
3 seconds.
2 minutes of it at the most. And just like, what the fuck?
I'm not playing this shit.
Yeah.
But that is my best recollection of what's going on with Ratt right now.
All right. Well, hey, good luck with that.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get some more information. I know a couple other people that know people a little more directly related to that.
My people say.
Yeah, well, I try to dig into that stuff when I can, when I actually have, some contacts into a story.
Sure.
And that's not often anymore because I've kind of disassociated from all these fucking idiots.
Right.
But, I still do know a couple people in that world. So we'll see. If I get some more information, I'll be happy to share.
All right. Thank you, Chris Trunk.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since all this is in Bobby's corner and this is his dance, here's some Ratt with Dance exclusively here
on your classic metal show.